To a late night version of How To, featuring me, your host Megan, and a cup of tea, and of course, a garden of Post-its. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing with you how to prepare for your first yoga class. This is something that I remember that the first time I did it was super scary, and then after that was much easier. But I remember that I could not find anywhere the kind of instructions that I needed to feel comfortable and at ease the first time I went. So the first thing I wanted to cover is what to wear. Any t-shirt will do. This one's a little bit fitted, so you can try that out. But basically you just want a t-shirt that you can tuck in to whatever pants you're wearing. In the pants area of your life, you want to be choosing pants that are stretchy and ideally not too baggy. That's really the only thing. If they were long, like longer than your heels, that would be a little bit too long, probably too. But basically any pants that are like somewhat stretchy, frankly, even if they're pajama pants, you're going to be fine in most places. Or you can also wear stretchy shorts. That works too. But just like something where if if you think about it, if you go upside down, your pant leg isn't wide enough that it's going to like fall down your leg. Although if you did, you would also be fine. So some kind of stretchy formation of pants. If you're a lady, you probably want to wear a sports bra. And then you don't have to wear shoes of any sort or really socks either. So you can wear whatever footwear you want and then figure the rest out when you get there. Now, in terms of a mat, this is something I was worried about for a very long time. My best advice to you is go check out a class. Just Google like yoga studio in your area and choose a place that's close and try it out. And then just double check online or give them a call and be like, yo, can I borrow a mat? Many places, at least in the Bay Area, you can pay like $1 to $2 to borrow a mat. Something that I also had to learn is after the class, usually there's a place to leave your mat, like a basket of some form, and so that's where you'll put it when you're done. So when you check in, you can just say like, can I borrow a mat when I'm here? And then when you're done, and actually when you check in, you can just say like, where should I leave it when I'm done? Put it in the basket, all good. They'll wash the mats between sitting. Something else that might happen your first time is that there might be props that people have. Like you might see them with a yoga block, which is kind of like it could be like a cork situation or like foam. You might see people with blankets in addition, because sometimes you'll like roll a blanket or use it to protect like one of your joints. So when you check in, you can just ask like, is there anything I need to get to prepare for class? And usually studios will just have that kind of stuff and then they just loan it to you for free, no problem. And you just put it back in the place where you got it when you're done. I think those are really the basics. The first times I went, I felt super nervous, so I was not in the mode to like go introduce myself to the teacher before the class. You can do that if that will put you more at ease. But another thing that I'd wish I'd known is that if they don't say this, you can take your own time. Like if you need a break, if you need to go to the bathroom, or if you're just like, if it's a lot. I think the first time I ended up just sitting on my mat for like 10 minutes of it. I'd never done it before. It was like a pretty intense class, at least for me. So that's the other thing you should know is like, if anything is too much, you can just sit on your mat. Maybe the teacher will come by and ask if you're okay, and you can just say yes, and it's like no problem and no big deal. You might see, crazy things always happen, but in general, you could always tell the teacher that or the person at the front desk, sometimes somebody different, or just go for it. And in most places, it's really standard. And it's not something that you need to feel bad about or anything like that. And then at the end of the class, if you feel comfortable with it, you can also go like thank the teacher, tell them it's your first time or something like that. The last thing to think about, this wasn't a case for me, but it might be for you, is you might want to tell the teacher in advance of the class if you have had any surgeries or injuries. That is a very good reason to go up and introduce yourself, and they can also help you like modify or know if like a pose is going to be not really the ideal thing for you. And also that can give them a signal that you're going to be doing whatever you need to be doing to protect your body. And that's like really the biggest thing overall. It's just like the purpose of yoga is not like finding out if you can do it a certain way or like stretching yourself super hard. You can go extremely easy and low key. Just try it out. They'll tell you everything to do in each step. And again, if it's your first time and you're kind of nervous, then of course you can try like a beginner's class. A hatha class. Hatha yoga is a really nice place to start because it's very accessible and easy. I did a lot of practice when I was studying to be a yoga teacher in Vinyasa Flow, which is a bit more different kinds of poses strung together, almost like a dance. So that one is just a little bit more fast paced, but in a beginner class, it should also be pretty accessible. So you don't really have to worry too much about the different kinds of yoga. You can just go check one out. And if you have any questions, the people of the studios are almost always very nice. So you could just call them and say, I'm a beginner, like which class should I go to? And often they'll know which teachers are like especially great with beginners, although hopefully everyone is. So that's what I want to share with you about how to go to your first yoga class and how to prepare. I really hope that if you have been worried about giving it a try, you will check it out and see what you think. If there's anything else I would tell you, it is you can bring a water bottle. Ideally, like have the lid on it, but like you can bring a water bottle and have it in the classroom, and that can be a really nice thing too. Last one, I suppose, like really this time is like sometimes I will take my glasses off during the class because I can like kind of listen to the cues. And like double, I guess triple last one this time is don't worry, you can look at the other people. That was like another question that I had. It's like, oh, am I supposed to know how to do everything yet? No. They tell you what to do, kind of like a square dance. Not that you'll have been to a square dance, but they like shout it out kind of, and then you just sort of follow along. And it's totally fine to like look at your neighbors and see how they're doing it. In fact, it's like a really nice way to just kind of like learn. You don't have to compete or anything like that. That's not the point, but just feel free to peek around. It's like, it's not a weird thing. Hope this was helpful. Hope you give it a try. If you do, leave me a comment. And thanks so much for listening. See you next time on How To.